YouTube says I'm not made for kids. Imagine that. So I had to go switch the whatever it's called, the option. Loma looking serious over here. I don't know.
Second, Nick Rest says second time is the charm.
Boom. What's the second time?
Joining the live.
Oh yeah, yeah. Second time for sure. We're gonna stay on this one. We plan on staying on this time.
Eric Amezqua says, what up?
What up? What up, guys? What's up? Okay, so I'm gonna go back to what I was asking before. What does everybody think Haney weighs tonight? 36-hour weigh-ins. For me, if you have a 36 hours before the fight weigh-in, you might as well not even weigh in. Just let them train and fight. We went from day of the fight weigh-ins to the night before weigh-ins to lunch the day before weigh-ins to now breakfast the day before weigh-ins. Pretty soon they're gonna be weighing in a week before. Honestly, though, I don't think Haney's size
Rock
is gonna...
says 155.
Yeah, I'm not really...
Plus.
Even still, I mean, I'm just saying it as a talking point. I don't think Haney's weight is going to come into play because Haney doesn't fight in a physical manner, and it's my opinion. But we'll see.
Beetlejuice is the goat of boxing.
Absolutely. That's not, that goes without saying.
I like that comment. Mike M says, I'm muting this fight and using this as commentary. LOL.
No, I'm not commentating, guys. I'm just gonna watch the fight. I'm not working tonight. I'm gonna give my thoughts, but I'm just gonna watch the fight. I mean, we can do it. I guess this is sort of like the Monday Night Football on ESPN2, and you got the option to watch it with the Mannings, or you go watch it with the regular commentators. Tonight you get me and Nick Jorlando. We get to watch the fight with us, or you can watch it with the ESPN guys. Haney looks psyched. I mean, that's all he should be.
Mike M says, I still prefer this over Tim Bradley.
No comment. Tim's my boy. No comment.
R. Sturdy says, is Haney too emotional?
I think emotion can work for you or against you. It depends on how he channels it. We'll see. You know, I don't buy into the whole thing like, oh, you're too emotional. It's always bad. I don't necessarily think emotion's always bad. It can be bad. It's just a matter of how you channel it. But I think the early rounds are gonna be interesting. Let's see. We're gonna find out how he channels it right now because here we go. Last hug for Papachenko.
Eric Amezqua says Haney don't have enough footwork to keep up with Loma too flat-footed.
Yeah. Who was making that point? Tim Bradley was making a good point like that. Where Haney's footwork is good going forward and backwards, but he's not good laterally. He does look big though, and he is trying to come forward. I mean, here we go. I mean, I think he's gonna try to do this in the beginning, but I think if Haney tries to fight an aggressive fight, I don't know that it's gonna necessarily work for him. But let's see. He's gonna start walking into shots once Lomachenko gets his timing.
Fight Fitness T90FC says, I think that push woke Loma up and he's pissed. Hopefully he starts early.
Tell you what though, Haney's trying to start fast, which I think is the right idea. Haney has to have the aggressive beginning because Loma is known as a slow starter. So I think Haney can't let that opportunity slip by that where he may be able to catch a couple of free rounds. You know, you got to take him in. And I think also he'll have seen, what's his name, Jermaine Ortiz starting fast and he had some success there. So I think Haney seeing that is going to probably try to start that same way. The only difference is Lomachenko is not as rusty in this fight. You know, he's been back in the gym before the Ortiz fight. You know, he's coming off the longest layoff of his career. Nice combination by Lomachenko there on the turn.
Mont the Hebrew says Haney can't fight inside to beat Loma once he closes the gap.
Yeah, but right now, you know what's interesting? Haney is the one trying to close the gap, and Loma's actually on the back foot a little bit. So I think it's going to be a sort of a feel-out process. It's going to be a little bit awkward early on. Haney keeps reaching for that shot to the body, that right hand to the body. He's missed it a few times. I can see that might be a shot he might be looking for. But you see how Lomachenko subtly puts you in his position. You see how even though Haney tried to start aggressively, Lomachenko subtly turns him, and then you know, turns him with and ends up putting Haney with close to the ropes. A little awkward exchange there, as I think they both smothered each other. See again, there's that right hand to the body from Haney. I think Haney's gonna be looking for this. It's something that I've been noticing he's looking for early in this fight. He's reached for it a couple of times, he's landed a couple of times, and missed it a couple of times.
Nick says Haney looks huge comparatively.
Yeah, he does. I mean, we kind of already knew this stuff. I mean, Lomachenko and his own weight is way too dominant. I mean, this is a fight that, this is a weight class where at least you get a little bit of parity in Lomachenko fights, because in his own weight class he's too dominant. Nice. Chris Algieri's made a good point that Lomachenko's starting faster than he's done in the past, and of course I think that was always going to be the plan. But I think that was always going to happen too, because Lomachenko was not going to be as rusty this fight.
Mr. 717313 says, damn, Paulie should be calling this fight ringside. I agree.
No, my boy Algieri's got it. My boy Algieri's got it. You see how Haney started aggressively in the round, but look how he's ending the round. Already Lomachenko has subtly changed the momentum. Not a lot has happened in the first round, but I think Lomachenko won the round. I don't think Haney did anything. But a close round. I mean, it's still that feel-out process round. But did Haney really do anything that you could say he gave him the round? If you gotta give somebody that round, you gotta give it to Lomachenko. I don't think Haney landed a shot, except for a couple of body shots where they were probably blocked by the arm anyway. But again, that body shot with the right hand for Haney, I want to see how much he keeps looking for it, or if he starts to just try to sell it to the body and then eventually maybe brings that right hand subtly to the head. Where he's trying to sell it to the body, so he gets Lomachenko kind of sleeping on it, where he just takes it for granted that it's going to come to the body, and then he throws it overhand. Haney had a big knockout early in his career with that overhand right. I forgot who he knocked out. It was actually a decent fighter too. So I'm looking at this body shot right hand that he's throwing, and he's looking at. Let's look at this replay here actually. Look, I'm looking at this body shot replay. I'm looking at a couple of little subtle right hand body shots that he throws. I'm trying to see if he's going to transfer it to the headshots. Good end to the round there by Lomachenko, which I think sealed the round for him. Also, something subtle that happened at the end of that round, with Haney trying to make such a concerted effort to be aggressive, he wound up finishing the round with his back to the ropes. Very interesting. It took just a round to change that up, but he's trying to start out aggressive here in the second round. Let's see how it happens. Let's see how it plays out.
Steve Johnson says, I greatly respect your boxing IQ, Paulie. Sometimes people really dismiss the nuances.
Yeah, I mean, I think, what I enjoy talking about boxing, I enjoy people getting a look through my eyes, because I'll catch a lot of the nuances that some people won't, and then I'll bring them out. Good body shot there by Haney with the right hand. I'll bring out some of the nuances that some people won't, and from there, then you can follow them yourself, because a lot of times it'll be a pattern. Good smother there by Haney. I notice Haney's trying to smother a little bit. Harvey Dott's warning Lomachenko for leaning on Haney, but he's actually got to also warn Haney for ducking in with his head, because you got to risk a head clash there as well. But it's also a good smother tactic by Haney. Again, Haney with that reach into the body with the right hand. I wonder if there's eventually going to be a counter there, or like I said, if Haney is going to try to bring that overhand right over the top.
Nick says, work rate for Loma was good. Seems he's not going to spend half the fight collecting data.
Mm-hmm. I think Haney's doing a better job this round of transferring defense to offense. He's not landing cleanly, but he's getting shots off of the defense, and I think that's going to give Lomachenko something to think about.
Eric says, Haney needs to jab to body and follow up with the right hand over the top.
Yeah, and Algieri's making a good point here too. Haney found a little bit of range here, and he's punching back off of the defensive moves. While in the first round, he was sort of just making the defensive moves. Lomachenko's backing him up though. Here we go.
Onyekachi Jennifer says, has Haney started clinching?
No. Actually, I haven't really seen any clinching. I've seen some strategic smothering on the inside, but I think that's, not only do I think there's nothing wrong with that, I think it's actually smart. But there hasn't been a lot of inside work. And again, that right hand to the body by Haney, it's consistent. He's trying to get it off.
Jesus says, boxing scene scored round 1 to Haney.
Boxing scene scored round 1 to Haney.
That's interesting. We have the other take.
Well, I guess this is why this isn't for the kids. They gotta get that load out of their eyes from jerking them off.
Oh,
and then watch the fight.
Tab out of this one, kids. Not for you.
That's a Haney round. Round 2 is a Haney round. I don't understand how you could give round one to Haney. I don't think he landed a punch in round one. How do you give round one to Haney just because he was trying to take the initiative on the front step, and you're not used to seeing that from him? Dude, you gotta watch boxing. You can't just watch the fight. You gotta watch the boxing in order to score this. You know. Anyway, I got it 1-1. I thought Haney reacted better off the defensive moves in round two than he did in round one. I thought round one he wasn't as reactive. He was coming forward, but he wasn't as reactive. Round two he was reactive. Although Lomachenko had a decent final minute of that second round, but not enough to win the round in my opinion.
Corey asks, Paulie, what do you think Haney weighs right now?
I mean, I think he's probably at least 155. You know, we saw that right hand to the body there by Haney. I think he was he got in a couple of good ones in that second round. I saw him look for it in the first round. He didn't really land it as great, but in the second round he got it off pretty well, and I thought he was decently effective with it as well as effective with some other things. Also, the fact that if Haney can just get off defensive moves, get punches off, he doesn't have to necessarily land them. It gives Lomachenko something to think about.
Just leave it. Yo, Paulie, do you see any flaws on these guys so far? What angles would you take if you were in the ring? Says Kevin.
No, I think there's still a lot of processing going on. I still think it's tit for tat. That's the first clinch by Haney. We haven't seen that many clinches. Good right hand counter by Haney there.
Trying to get off a clip, Haney smothered him. Good move by Devin Haney. Small investments that play up the road. Left hand, left hand. By Loma, doubles it up. So Loma with a
Pretty Jimmy X, where's Peter Cards at?
Peter Cards is in Brooklyn. Where else is he gonna be? A couple of left hands have been landed here by Lomachenko in the past 20 seconds. Haney has to keep making that rotating move that he's made. He made a couple of times underneath the left hand of Lomachenko. There he's trying to dip in it, but now Lomachenko's sort of smothering him from making it. If Haney can't make that spin move, he's going to be taking these left hands. And that's going to be interesting as well. If he starts to fatigue, he's not going to be able to make it as effectively. Although when he dips on that side, he does get off his own right hand to the body.
MK Vine asks, Paulie, does Loma need to focus on body shots more?
I mean, it's a catch-22 because when you're also trying to focus on body shots, you're going to be on the inside with the bigger man, and you can see Haney's physicality on the inside. Oh, good combination by Lomachenko.
Johnny asks, Haney's range much of a problem for Loma so far?
I mean, I'm not gonna say problem. I think they're both causing problems for one another in this, in what is still probably a feel round. This third round is close.
Stay Sharp asks, does Loma have to follow the jab inside or use angles?
I mean, both. I don't think it just comes down to one of those things. When Lomachenko has gotten inside this round, though, he has been able to actually get off better combinations. Haney, because it takes energy to smother, and Haney is as he fatigues, he's going to be tougher to smother, and he's going to leave Lomachenko that space. At that last minute of the round, I thought Lomachenko got off a nice combination when Haney was up against the ropes. Haney's still landing a one shot at a time here and there, which is good. Close round, man. I don't know. Close round.
What up, Pote? Open Signal X, you think Loma has more gas than Haney?
I don't know. It's hard to tell. We'll find out later. In the second, we can't talk about the gas tanks, and we're up to round 3 here. Both guys' gas tanks are still full.
Just taking advantage. Out of position right here. Devin Haney trying to slide in. It's tough. Beautiful shot right there. Both fighters.
A lot of people have a 2-1 Loma.
It's close, though. It's close. I edged the third round to Loma as well, but the third round was close because I also thought Haney did some good things, too. I thought the first 2 rounds were pretty easy to score, which is why it's mind-boggling how about boxing. I love to know who the scorer is for boxing scene. If he's secretly a Haney D rider. But round 3 was a tough round to score, but I edged it to Loma. See, Harvey Docker has warned out Lomachenko a couple of times for leaning on the head of Haney. He has not warned Haney one time for coming in with his head, which forces Loma to lean on the head. Because if you dip in with your head, you're gonna force Loma to lean on your head to protect himself. Nice combination by Lomachenko off the turn. Good tactical fight though.
Why are we lagging? Oh, we're good. Brian asks, why did the real Mayorga give Paulie such a hard time back in the day?
Who? Mayorga? Who's real Mayorga? I didn't fight Mayorga. Maybe is there somebody who uses that as a social media name?
What's up, Joe Gio?
What's up, Joe?
Gregor asks, in your opinion, does Haney show KO power?
Vasily here this round is starting to mentally stress Haney. You see how Haney started the fight aggressively, and now you're starting to see the real estate-wise where Lomachenko's taking it. He's starting to cut off the ring consistently on Haney, and that's going to be interesting as the fight plays out. Is it going to stress Haney and cause a little bit of fatigue? You know, it's still round 4, so it's not going to be causing fatigue right now. But you're seeing Lomachenko now consistently in Haney's face, and it's going to cause a little bit of mental stress, which ends up causing physical fatigue.
Got a little bit of a lag here. Let's see if we can get back to normal. Yep, we're good. B. Goffner, why do you think Haney isn't jabbing or controlling range?
It's harder to control. It's harder to jab at a southpaw, guys. You know, everybody's been talking about the Haney jab was gonna. I mean, there was a lot of morons out there who just thought Haney was gonna use the jab and control Lomachenko, like he was controlling some flat-footed Mexican guy, journeyman. You know, like first of all, it's harder to control a southpaw with the jab in general, any southpaw, and then Lomachenko is a complicated southpaw because he's got these subtle range changes. And that's what Haney's got to do. I just saw a counter right hand from Haney on the southpaw jab of Lomachenko. He's got to get in a lot of those southpaw jabs, but again, it's southpaw right hands is a little tackle. I tell you, man, Haney got up a little slow from that takedown. I don't know, bro. He's starting to get stressed. It's gonna get interesting in the second half of this fight, bro. We're only in round 4.
Manuel asks, will this end up like Shakur versus Oscar Valdez?
It's already not like Shakur and Oscar Valdez. We're around 4. This is absolutely not like the Shakur and Oscar Valdez. This is a good 2-way fight.
What's up, MB?
I got a 3-1, but it's close, guys. I mean, the rounds have been competitive. It's absolutely not. Shakur and Oscar Valdez was a wash every second of the fight.
Jesus asks, who's winning, in your opinion?
I got Loma up 3-1, but some rounds are close. 1 and 2 I thought were pretty easy to score. 3 was a little bit tricky. I gave it to Loma. And 4 I thought was a Loma round. He started to really stay in Haney's face. This is the thing now. Loma has started to make that move. You know, there comes a point in the fight where you make your move. He started to make that move around 4 where he's going to start to pressure Haney a little bit more. There are 8 rounds left. Keep in mind, this is where he decided to make this move. He's going to keep doing it from now on. So I want to see how Haney starts to react to this kind of pressure, because it's not just physical pressure, it's mental pressure as well. It stresses you, and what mental pressure does is it fatigues you. So there are 8 rounds left, and Loma made his move in round 4. I want to see. Of course, there's things Haney can do to counteract this, but for the most part, I expect Loma to try to stay aggressive the rest of the fight now.
B. Goffner asks, do you think Loma can maintain this pace at his age?
I don't really think it's a pace because he's not throwing all the punches. He's just psychologically putting Haney where he wants to put him. If you really look at it, it's not really a fast pace for Loma. He's giving you looks, and he's looking more dangerous. That he's trying to make you feel like he's more dangerous than he is, and he puts you in positions to where you make mistakes, and then he makes you pay for it. If you look at it, it's not really a big pace. As a matter of fact, a couple of good body shots by Haney to start this round. But again, you see where defensive moves Haney has to make. They're big defensive moves. Those create fatigue.
I don't know why we're lagging. Stay sharp, X. Haney reminded me of Canelo when he fought Mayweather. Annoyed, bothered by the weight drain. Your thoughts? Can he make 135 still?
I think this is Haney's last fight at 135, whether he wins or loses. You see, notice the stress Lomachenko's causing. He's trying to put, and remember, all this wrestling, Lomachenko did Sambo Judo for like 10 years of his life when he was a kid. So hello, man, he's starting to, again, notice the big defensive moves Haney's starting to make. Those come from fatigue. When you're tiring, you can't keep your defensive moves shorter anymore. I'm telling you, if he's starting to make big defensive moves, it's going to cause more fatigue because the bigger the defensive move you make, the more energy you have to spend. Again, remember, I said Lomachenko made his move in round 4. He started to pick up the aggression.
This guy thinks Loma's gonna get robbed on the cards. Corey?
I don't know. It's still too early to tell. If the fight stays this tactical, it might happen. But bro, I'm telling you, if this fight stays at this pace, Haney's gonna really diminish he's gonna start to fatigue because there's a lot of mental pressure being put on Haney. It's not just physical. And if Haney starts to tire, he's actually gonna get the shit beat out of him late in the fight. So I don't necessarily know if the fight stays like this. I could see, even they could find the reason to give it to Haney. He's younger. But if the fight, if Haney starts to feel the more fatigue in the last third of the fight, Lomachenko's gonna put it on him. But again, remember, Loma made his move at the end of the during the 4th round. Keep that in mind because you saw a lot of pressure even in the 5th round. And of course, when Loma's putting on pressure, he's gonna eat a couple of shots here and there as well. He's the guy coming forward. But overall, he's landing more shots now, and he's also stressing Haney, psychologically and physically stressing Haney. And like I said, Haney started to make bigger defensive moves, which require more energy.
Thank you for the kind words, Joe. Jake X, Paulie scores as of now.
I got a 5-1 Loma.
5-1 Loma.
But but round 3 was close. I don't think you can give 4 and 5 to Devin, can you? I mean, is anybody else giving rounds to Haney? I mean, he's landing shots here and there, but overall the consistent work is Lomachenko. It's very, very consistent. How do you guys have it at home? Haney being reacting. Oh, I was just gonna say Haney reacting well this round, but now a nice combination by Lomachenko.
We'll have a 3-2 Loma, 5-1, 3-2, 4-1. Loma's the favorite now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the closest you can have it is 3-2 Loma. I don't think you can have Haney in the lead right now. I mean, you could be smoking drugs and have Haney in the lead, but I'm saying if you're watching rationally, I don't think you can have Haney in the lead right now. Like I said, if you I would. Oh, nice left hand by Loma. I think I wouldn't knock it against you if you gave round 3 to Haney. I gave it to Loma, but every other round has been pretty easy to score.
This guy asks, 9 Summers, does Haney look like he can beat Tank?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think Haney's having a decent 6th round though so far. You know, he's taking a couple of shots, but I think he's had the more consistent 6th round. And he's gone back to that body shot, that right hand to the body.
Why are we lagging? Alright, we're good. Jesus says, for a young boxer, how is Haney faring?
Haney's very good. I mean, Haney's 24. He's not a kid. I mean, this is your prime. This is your prime age. I've long said Haney's a good fighter. I just thought he wasn't tested. I just gave Haney the 6th round. I've got it 4-2.
Brought to you by Voltero.
4-2 Loma.
Some people saying 3-3.
It's gonna be interesting now. Second half of the fight, you know, how was the stressing affected both guys? You know.
This guy's asking, does Frank Smith make good cups of tea?
I've never had one of Frank's cups of tea. Not chop. Me and Frank made up. We're not fighting anymore.
But his sure has been effective. It's been the most consistent and effective weapon for either man tonight, which is a big surprise because he, again, not known as a body puncher, and he's utilizing that in the biggest fight of his career.
This Big EE87, say if Loma loses, do you see him moving back down in weight?
I mean, I don't think it would be the end of the world if. I mean, I've always felt Loma should probably be at a lower weight class, but I think there's bigger opportunities, more competitive fights, and more fun fights for him at 135 because he might actually get beat. I mean, at a lower weight, it becomes very difficult to beat Loma. He's back in his natural weight, you know. Let's face it, the only reason Loma even has losses on his record is because he jumped outside of the scale. I mean, Salido didn't make weight. Oh, nice shot there by Lomachenko. And then, you know, Teofimo was very good, and also the weight helps. Loma consistently putting that pressure, but I like that body shot by Haney. It just kind of gives Lomachenko something to think about to come on the inside. And again, I mean, I haven't seen enough Haney jabs for my liking, you know? And he's starting to do more holding in this round. Again, you're going to start to see the fatigue. We're heading into the second half of the fight. And remember, that was one of the complaints.
Mike says, Haney did not expect Loma to be this aggressive.
No, I can't think that. I mean, Loma's aggressive in every fight, man. I mean, if Haney didn't expect Loma to be this aggressive, nah, I don't believe that. Loma gets aggressive every fight. Now, maybe he didn't expect him to be this aggressive this early, possibly, but I think he should have expected it because, you know, Loma was actually back in the gym consistently after that Jermaine Ortiz fight.
I don't understand. It's a little choppy sometimes. never allowed.
Oh, good left hand by Loma. This fight's competitive, man.
Johnny asks, either guy busted up at all? I don't think he's watching.
No, nobody's busted up.
Close fight.
That was a close
What do you
round.
have? Who do you give that round
I
to?
gave that round to Loma. He was more aggressive, but Haney did some good work too. So like, this is another one of those rounds where it's gonna be like round 3. So keep these rounds in the box, in the memory box. Round 3 and round 7 are rounds that probably could go on either way. I thought, but I gave them to Lomachenko based on being more consistent in the round. But Haney did some good work in both of the rounds where it wouldn't be the end of the world if he also thought about giving him the round.
Derek asks, thoughts on Ben versus Brooke?
No comment. I mean, yeah, it was a nice argument there in Dublin. I think that's going to build up some hype.
Interesting. Someone has it 5-2 Haney. We have it the other way around, I think.
Yeah, but this is one of those fights, though. This is one of those fights where it's. I mean, 5-2 though, it's a bit much. I mean, 5-2 is a bit much. You might be smoking as Paulie if you got him on 5-2.
Thoughts on Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz?
I think Nate has seen his best days. I think Nate has seen his best days. I think Jake's getting him at the right time. And watch those clashes of heads there, man. Lefty versus righty.
Jesus asking, Paulie, is this worth pay-per-view worthy?
Yeah, I think it's competitive. Listen, it's a tactical matchup. If you like your boxing, this is a tactical matchup. I mean, it's not your toe-to-toe scrap, but it's giving you good exchanges, good action, and it's a very tactical fight.
Guillermo asks, why would the judges give the fight to Haney? It's Haney's last fight with ESPN.
I mean, I don't think that's a fair assessment. Yeah, from a political standpoint, okay, but I mean, I think you give the fight to whoever deserves it.
Brittany has it 5-2.
Oh, good shot there by Lomachenko.
5-2 Loma.
Yeah, I've got a 5-2 Loma as well. Another thing to keep in mind is the body shots that Haney has landed with the right hand. How are they going to affect Loma late in the fight as well? You started talking about the psychological stress that Loma has put on Haney, but also the physical body shot, especially with the right hand. So it could be interesting late in the fight.
This guy asks, whatever happened to those two brothers from Italy that you were sponsoring a few years back?
One had a couple of shoulder surgeries and is in, just had to go back to Italy. Kept separating his shoulder and had 2 rotator cuff surgeries. The other one is in TCL, Team Combat League. He's actually with the New York City Attitude.
Who'd you give that one to?
I don't know, man. like those body shots Haney's landing. Yeah,
5'3", I think.
yeah, 5'3". But again, that's another good one.
Yeah.
It's another one that you could also give Lomachenko. But again, these rounds are starting to get tit for tat. But I'm starting to see the body shots Haney's landing, and you have a slight effect on Lomachenko. So I have to give rounds to Haney when he's landing some good shots. That right hand to the body is effective. And also, with Loma, it's kind of a catch-22 there because Loma wants to be aggressive to mentally stress Haney, but in being aggressive to mentally stress Haney, he ends up going to that body shot where Haney dips and throws it. So Haney doesn't have to find him with that body shot either. So both guys kind of doing what they want to do, but it's just a matter of what the effectiveness is going to be. Final third of the fight, guys. This could be very interesting. Good start to round 9 for Lomachenko.
This guy's an interesting question. Al says, Paulie, how many miles should a boxer run or a fighter run weekly?
I used to do 3 miles a day. Sometimes on the weekend I'd up it a little more, but 3 miles a day. Actually, I'd take 1 day off a week. It depends. But also it depends on how hard you're working in the gym, how your legs feel. I don't think it necessarily. I think it depends week to week, depending on how hard you're working in the gym. Because if you're working really hard in the gym, you don't want to burn your legs out either.
Probably also depends on when your camp is.
Yeah, exactly. Good body shot again by Haney.
Mike asks, who do you think is the best fighter out of Brooklyn today?
Not sure. I don't know, I'm not really on the scene in Brooklyn like that. I mean, Colbert would look like he was doing good for a while, but now he's kind of falling off. I'm not sure. This is going to be a close fight, guys. I can tell. Good shots by Lomachenko. He walked Haney into it. Haney actually walked back to the ropes. A good combination by Lomachenko. Wow. That's a big moment around 9 for Loma. We got about a minute left. Oh, Loma's having a good round 9, man.
I'm kind of just skipping some ridiculous questions.
How you gonna answer this?
No, they're ridiculous.
What are they asking? About the fight or about other stuff?
Nah, don't worry.
All right. It's for the kids, guys. The kids are a lot on here, so be careful.
Who wins out of Tank versus Loma?
I mean, it's hard to pick against Tank at this moment, especially Loma. Is getting up there in age. I think Loma, when he was at his best, you pick him against anybody almost. I mean, Loma when he was at his best is unbelievable. But
Who do you give that one to?
that was a Loma round. That was a very.
So you're
I
thinking-
thought that was a very good Loma round.
6'3" Loma.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, just people asking crazy
No bull,
questions.
Haney winning this fight. I guess. I mean, this fight is close.
See how it's choppy?
Yeah.
It gets back every, minute. There you go, now.
I mean, I'm looking at the comments. I mean, I can see how people have it going both ways. I think these rounds are competitive enough to where the Haney fans are giving the rounds to Haney, and the Lomachenko fans are giving the rounds to Lomachenko. But I think round 9 was a really solid Lomachenko round.
People are saying different broadcasting are having different
Yeah.
scorings completely.
Yeah, and I think it's just a matter of who you like going into the fight. You're almost like favoring them a little bit, I guess. Which is gonna be interesting with the judges, right?
Did you like bare knuckle boxing?
I didn't think bare knuckle boxing was bad. It was just heavy on my hands though. I had bad hands. Hurts your hands. Let's see round 10 here. The red hair was Dan Rayfield is Haney miles ahead. Dan Rayfield just picks a guy who he wants to win, or who he thinks is gonna win, and then his pick, whoever he picked to win the fight, he just gives them every round. I was a pro boxer for 16 years, as you guys know. I noticed Dan Rayfield did that every single time. Whoever he picked before the fight, he would just give that guy like every round. So he would not only make a prediction, he'd also start rooting for the guy he predicted.
On Gadiax, are you coming to the Boxing Hall of Fame this year?
I'm not sure. Depends on schedule. Round 10 has started. Just put on it.
Again, there it is. Now he comes in with a left-handed get goes Loma. He's already figured out the sequence out there. Loma has figured out the sequence. Now Christine Wood is actually setting traps now for that left hand. Big round for Lomachenko.
Okay.
Fair.
Okay.
With the best exchange. The most productive combination that he's had. The 10th round for Lomachenko.
Loma seems to be getting stronger here late in the fight. 9th and 10th have been very strong Loma rounds. They're about to rob Haney. No, Rock, you're watching the wrong fight. They ain't about to rob Haney. You're actually watching the wrong fight. Haney's losing the fight.
Wait, 7-3, Loma?
Yeah. Haney's actually losing the fight, and if he doesn't get it, that means he lost the fight. Which Charlo? I see Charlo against Canelo. Which Charlo? Honestly, there was a couple of years ago where I thought Jamal would have beat Canelo. He just disappeared off the face of the earth. I don't think he's busy enough. This is a good round for Lomachenko. And Haney, again, the fatigue of Haney puts him out of position defensively, and that Loma starts to attack in droves. Again, last 2 rounds here.
Is there a rematch clause, Pineapple asks?
I don't think Haney can make the weight for a rematch.
A lot of people are saying 5-5. They think it's closer than you do.
Yeah.
It's an interesting take.
I mean, Loma is really stalking Haney. He's starting to sense that Haney's weakening. Oh, dude, man. I tell you what, even if you were rooting for Haney and you wanted him to win and you're trying to give him as many rounds as you can, the way he's looking this late in the fight, you're not even going to be able to give him the fight. I don't think he has a lot of energy left, and he's getting hit with shots he was slipping before earlier in the fight, and he's getting hit in combination. This is what I was talking about late in the fight. This is what I was talking about late part of the fight. The mental stress that Lomachenko puts on you. Now it translates to physical. He's actually stalking him now completely. And Haney, again, when you're tired, the problem when you're fatigued is your defensive. Oh, another big shot by Lomachenko. The problem, wow, Haney's going down. Haney's hurt, wow. Haney's hurt.
Ooh.
The problem when you're tired is you make your defensive moves bigger because you don't trust yourself to make short defensive moves because your reaction timing is slower. So you end up making bigger defensive moves, and that just tires you out more and also puts you out of position. What'd I tell you? He was going to start getting his ass kicked late in the fight.
Yep.
This is actually an assault. Oof.
A lot of time left in this round.
Oof.
Uppercut, I see it.
And there's no answer for Haney, like Andre Ward is saying. Big Beck says Haney's tired. And you see he tries to load up one big shot, hoping that he lands it. But now when he misses it, that's going to make him more tired. Oh, what a combination.
He's really teeing up in the end of this fight.
Somebody ask Dane Rayfield to watch the fight again, please.
Take him out, Loma. A lot of people are cheering Loma on.
I mean, at this point, I think maybe even Loma needs a breather because he might be tired from beating the shit out of the guy. He's taking a break, I think, the last few seconds. Let's see if Haney wins up here, you know, gets some win back. He's trying to stalk. Let's see if Haney tries to take advantage here because, you know, sometimes I used to think that too. When a guy really threw a lot of shots at me trying to take advantage of a positive moment, I would try to weather it and then try to attack back knowing that they were trying to get their win back. Let's see if Haney tries to take advantage of it because Lomachenko just threw a lot of shots and he's trying to get his win back. This is where Haney has to dig down even though he's not feeling great and he has to try to push Lomachenko a little bit. He tried, but I think he was too tired to really get anything done there. Look at Haney's legs don't look great, man. Haney's legs don't look great at all.
That was a great round for Loma.
Those are three very, very commanding rounds for Lomachenko. 9, 10, and 11 have been very, very commanding. Yeah, you got to get his mouthpiece out of his mouth right away, man. I mean, Haney got to breathe.
Yeah.
You can't be. He should have had his mouthpiece out of his mouth even before he sat down.
People want them to end it. They don't want Devin to get hurt anymore.
Wow, yeah. Yeah.
Whoever wins, just give Tank the belt. They're not beating Tank, says Anthony.
No, I agree, but I think the winner is going to go to, they're going to get Shakur Stevenson. The winner should win Shakur Stevenson. I think Top Rank made the fight with, is going to make the fight with Lomachenko.
Might be a little delay. It's okay. They're doing good. Stay sharp, X. Shakur is the best 135 in your opinion.
Yes, I've been saying that, and some of that is also because Loma is not the same Loma. But Shakur, I always thought was the future of the weight class. But coincidentally, I think Gervonta has the most star power, and I don't think Shakur washes Gervonta. That's a very, very. It's not the end of the world if you pick Gervonta to beat Shakur. I think Shakur is better than him, but I mean, it's like, it's one of those fights where it's they're the two guys, bro. I just hope Shakur and Gervonta, for me, I think that's gonna become the Spence Crawford, the Mayweather Pacquiao of the new generation. I just hope it doesn't take as long as it took those other guys, But I can see already the writing on the wall. Shakur and Gervonta's gonna become that's the matchup everybody's gonna want to see. That takes forever to make because they're with opposite promoters, they're with opposite TV networks.
This guy agrees with you. Tomas Perez, saying the exact same thing.
Yeah. Which I hate to be right. I don't want to be right in that way. I hope they fight sooner than later, But this business sucks, you guys know already. Oh, some of these body shots I'm almost throwing now. Haney decent, 12. How'd you guys have it?
Some people have draw.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. If you had a draw, that means you had Haney way ahead early on. I don't know.
It might be over actually. Sorry for the delay. This guy says Loma can beat Tank, but it's unlikely. Loma has trouble with fighters who come forward.
I think Lomachenko tired himself out a little bit too in the 11th round,
think-
beating the hell out of Haney for 3 rounds in a row.
I think
And a tired 12th, you could make a case to give it to Haney. My score ends up being 8-4.
I think it was a draw. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's what the crowd is saying. We're a little behind. That was a close 12th round.
Did some of you guys already get the scorecards?
I think
We're
so.
waiting. People saying a lot of draw. I had an 8-4 Loma, but
8-4 is crazy. How do you get a draw from 8-4?
well, there's a couple of guys who, couple of Haney D riders also have Haney in the fight tonight too. So, I don't know.
12-0.
Somebody had a 12-0.
no, sir. That's gotta be.
This guy's watching.
That's gotta be on purpose.
He's watching America's Got Talent. He's not watching boxing.
That's gotta be on purpose. Check from
Paulie has Loma. You had him what?
8-4,
8-4.
116, 112. Which actually was my prediction. I didn't even mean for it to be 8-4. I actually predicted Loma to win 8-4, and on my card it wanted to be an 8-4. Oof. All right.
How much did Paulie lose? Paulie did not bet on this. Paulie does not bet.
I'm well on the way over here. I don't know who got the decision.
I don't know who won.
Obviously, there's a winner of who knows.
Back to Haney's 37.
Oh, all right. We got the decision right here. We're about to see, so we can react with you.
But there were many difficult rounds to score.
Let's see.
Let's show you the final CompuBox numbers. Lomachenko finished with a 124 to 110 connect advantage overall. He threw 564 total punches to Haney's 405. There are the final numbers according to
6-6 draw.
CompuBox.
So everybody's saying draw.
Yeah, people saying draw. That's Haney won. I saw Loma. I can't make anything out of it.
Again.
Haney showed great defense, a great jab, great body work, especially early on.
Maybe in.
And see, there's still people.
Yeah. One on delay over here. I don't know if you guys are on the
You
same
guys-
delay. Maybe we're
yeah.
maybe we're just waiting for the same day as you guys.
As for Dave Moretti, Tim G.
Let's give our insight after we watch. So these guys are, I don't even know what they're saying.
Let's find out.
Oh, I guess it's just taking long on their end. Interesting.
And we're getting the decision now. I don't know. You guys probably.
You may already know, but it's alright.
It is now time for the ball line celebration decision as we go to the judges' scorecards. Dave Moretti scores the bout 116-112.
Interesting.
Tatum and David Sutherland both score the bout
14-14.
115-113.
Wow.
Wow. That was close.
By unanimous decision. And still
Wow.
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 champion of the world,
Wow.
Devin the
Wow. Wow.
Devin Haney is 30-0
watch the same fight we did?
That's interesting.
Very surprised.
Wow.
That's like a. They just gave it to him because he's the defending champ. Interesting.
Wow. Haney's getting booed in his own hometown. Wow. In his own hometown, Haney got booed.
A lot of people saying robbery.
Of course, it's a robbery. Wow. I thought you could go maybe draw if you went like extreme. The guy got booed in his own hometown. Wow.
Very close fight from ringside.
Wow.
Devin, very close fight from ringside. How did it feel inside the ring to be
Tim Cheatham had it 116, 112 for Haney. It's incredible.
They do this in UFC as well. They give the close fights to the defending champ. Even though I don't even think that was a close fight in my opinion. I thought Loma was dominating him. This is why people don't follow boxing anymore. That's what people are saying. It's interesting.
Wow.
What was it about Loma that gave you trouble in those middle to late rounds?
Sad for the sport of boxing, says Mark.
Wow.
I mean, this happens in a lot of sports.
Everyone talked about the size, everyone talked about the age, but at the end of the day, what mattered was getting to 30 wins. What did you take away from this victory?
Oh man, it's all experience. You know, me and my team, we gonna go back to the house.
And I thought Haney actually, I was impressed with. I was gonna actually say despite the loss, I saw some things in Haney that, I gotta give credit to. The game planning, going to the body, trying to be aggressive in spots. I was looking for ways to give this guy credit in the loss. This is wild, bro. They gave this guy the win.
People are so upset. It's not even
It's
funny.
always been tough for me to make the weight, and I accomplished everything I wanted.
Wow.
I be a future Hall of Famer. This is my 8th title defense.
There's a lot of comments.
It's a lot of great
I can't. It's hard to read them.
If it makes sense, we'll be at 135.
Even Haney knows he lost.
135.
What you gotta see, we gotta go back to-
Corrupt,
go back to the
crap, disgusting.
like Shakur,
We're getting a lot of hate here. Boxing's dead.
and the list goes on and on.
Tonight, you remain undisputed. What did this fight do for your career?
Haney has more hype than talent, someone says.
I mean, listen, I'm kind of speechless about it, man. I'm kind of like I said, I was looking for ways, I was thinking, Haney impressed me despite the defeat. He went to the body. He tried to impose himself physically. He was reactive, especially early on. He did some good things despite the loss, and then they went and gave this guy the win. Wow. Wow. Wow, dude. Wow.
Crowd is booing.
Be the future Hall of Famer. This is my 8th title defense. So what you gotta see, but it's a lot of great fighters still.
KSI would smoke Haney, says this guy. Couldn't see his name.
That's just troll.
Yeah, right.
135.
What you gotta see, we gotta go back to the drawing board. We got fighters like Shakur, we got fighters like Javante, and the list goes on and on.
Tonight, you remain undisputed. What did this fight do for your career?
Oh man, it put me in the history books forever. I could be the future Hall of Famer.
Still booing. Hating going on.
Be my team. Alhamdulillah.
Thank you very much, Devin. We appreciate it. Now we're going to go over with Vasily Lomachenko. Vasily,
Look at this. Look at the
The
response.
crowd cheering, right?
thank you, big thank you. My team, father, manager, Andre, Catman, my family, my friends, and you guys, you are coming and support us. Thank you very much.
Very humble.
Did you feel like you deserve to be undisputed champion tonight? I don't want to talk in this. All people see what happened today. We talked about the size, we talked about the age. What was it about
And this is also back-to-back weeks. Last week we had a disgusting stoppage in the referee with the Rolly Romero fight with
think I
Barosho.
showed I can be in the boxing.
Paulie TV, it says, hey, robbery.
Oof.
Do you feel
Actually, you know who said Haney by robbery? Was Jimmy, my producer. He predicted Haney was gonna rob Lomachenko.
Even before the fight was over, like mid-fight, they were saying somehow it's gonna be Rob for Haney to win.
People are booing even. People are even booing the question.
Before I think he will be better, but right now he's a top fighter, he's a good fighter, but he's not pound for pound fighter.
Oh,
And finally, the future for you. 135 where you are smaller than 30 pounders ever.
Right now, I wanted to come back home, support my country, support my Ukrainian Orthodox Church.
Supposedly Shakur said Loma won.
everybody said Loma. Edom had 116, 112. Forget about the fact that they robbed the guy. We were talking about Tony Weeks last week with the horrible referee job. People need to talk about this guy Tim Cheatham too. 8-4 for Haney, dude. 8-4. Wow, bro. Wow. This guy's getting booed on his walk back to the dressing room in his own hometown. Wow. 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 Shakur is actually talking to them on ESPN now. Oof. All right, guys. I'm gonna sign out. I'll make a post video tomorrow at some point. Thanks for watching the fight together. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed reading your comments, and I enjoyed having a chat with you guys. Wow. Shakur said.
Let me sign it up.
Shakur saying. Shakur.
What you saw tonight
Wow.
means
Really?
Devin
What?
Haney decides to stay at 135. You could potentially get a shot at
Who's
the
that?
undisputed title. How much do you want that fight?
All right, close it off.
Good. See you later, guys.